maneuver at Cedillo Hill. Vehicle is down. Jump, fuck.
In this situation, it appears that law enforcement officers are responding to a report involving a Cadillac with occupants. Officers attempt to engage with the vehicle, but the driver tries to flee and, in the process, rams a police car.
Tommy's attempting to flee, ran my car.
The officers report the incident and request additional units to manage the situation. They confirm there is a woman and a man in the vehicle, with the man in the driver's seat.
It's going to be a silver Cadillac, female passenger, male driver, dark tinted windows. He is coming out, eastbound 333 now.
Law enforcement is tracking a silver Cadillac with a male driver and a female passenger, both in a vehicle with dark-tinted windows. The suspect vehicle caused significant damage to a police car while attempting to flee. Officers are coordinating their efforts, with one officer reporting that they will follow the suspects with lights only, as their siren is not functioning. The suspects are currently heading eastbound on the frontage road near Pizza Barn. Additional units are being dispatched to assist in the pursuit.
He is out by Pizza Barn. He is headed eastbound on their frontage road. Significant damage to my vehicle. Also be advised I don't have a siren, so I'm going to be lights only.
10 for lights only.
The suspects are driving recklessly, including traveling on the wrong side of the road before returning to the correct lanes. Officers report significant damage to a police car caused by the suspects and are continuing the pursuit, coordinating their movements.
Eastbound 333, headed for Mountain Valley.
Eastbound 333, Mountain Valley.
Initially reported as heading eastbound, it is clarified that the pursuit is now westbound, approaching a location referred to as Mountain. The officers are driving carefully as they continue to follow the suspects.
He is driving pretty carefully. He is above the speed limit about 70 to 80 miles an hour, but he is driving pretty carefully.
10 for 70 to 80, driving carefully.
There was a shooting on the overpass in Hill City, and an officer, identified as 501, was hit.
Hit maneuver at Cedillo Hill. Vehicle is down. Jump, fuck.
The officer couldn't give a description of the weapon and mentioned they might be at location 55.
CENTCOM, I'm hit. Bleeding. Subjects are fleeing west. Female and a male. Send me a 55.
501, do you have a weapon description?
Negative, but I'm hit. Please send me a 55.
Direct.
After the shooting, another officer communicated to make sure 501's status was checked until help arrived and to inform the captain and lieutenant.
291, CENTCOM. Let's try to make contact with 501, make sure his status until we get people on scene. Also, if you haven't done so, notify the captain, lieutenant, please.
Despite being shot, likely through the shoulder and possibly the chest, the officer reported being okay, but bleeding.
501, I think I'm okay. I'm bleeding. Shot through the shoulder, possibly the chest. Subjects are fleeing westbound. A little bit of trouble breathing.
A conversation is happening where one person is providing specific directions and information about a location near the Cedillo Hill overpass on I-40.
Just confirming your last 20 or 30 and Mountain Valley.
That's affirmative. Cedillo Hill overpass over I-40. It's right next to the Cedillo Hill truck stop.
At one point, someone responds affirmatively to an inquiry, and there's mention of the number 55, possibly relating to a speed limit or distance marker. The sound of applause is noted twice, suggesting an audience or a celebratory moment. Finally, there's a directive for someone to apply pressure to a specific area, possibly in a medical or emergency context, followed by more applause. The overall context appears to involve navigation, instructions, and an urgent situation requiring immediate action.
409 Atlas Day Police send in Cedillo Hill. Send it 55.
County Arch,
Brother, okay?
Give
He's
me a
been
minute.
shot, guys.
Where
He's
you
been
at?
shot. He's been shot, right?
The situation involves a person who has been shot and is describing the injury, mentioning a bullet hole near the scapula, shoulder blade area. They express significant pain and discuss whether the bullet exited the body.
National traveling west on from.
Right here in the neck.
16501, well protect.
No, he's here, right here in his neck, man.
Where are they going to be here?
Bullet holes right there.
In the vehicle, sir.
He's got a bullet hole right here, guys. Is it going through? I don't know if it came out the back, but it
Feels like it hit my scapula, brother.
Instructions are given to move the injured person slightly for better positioning and to be cautious of a trailer nearby.
Can I help in any way? I saw that.
Just watch traffic for us.
Please. Stop them from coming through. Make them go that way. Radio.
There is mention of trauma care, possibly suggesting the use of trauma shears to cut clothing for better access to the wound. The urgency and coordination indicate a critical situation, likely involving first responders or emergency personnel managing the scene and tending to the injured person.
I don't know if it came out the back, but it
Feels like it hit my scapula, brother.
Yeah, it's right
Still
here.
in there.
Alright, who's got trauma shears? You got any cutters?
Feels like it hit my scapula in the back, and that hurts.
Possibly related to the earlier injury. They discuss positioning, possibly referencing different areas or sides of a location. There's confirmation of someone having PASS, Patient Assessment System or Protocol Assistance System. They also identify multiple cameras around the area, indicating a need for surveillance or evidence gathering. Instructions are given to move from left to right, and background music and occasional applause are heard, suggesting an organized but tense environment. The phrases "turn and burn" and "good deployment" imply a swift, efficient operation, likely involving emergency responders or law enforcement managing a critical situation, possibly after an active shooter incident. Law enforcement is questioning someone about the safety of a residence. They confirm there are no other people, weapons, or bombs inside, and mention a small puppy. There is some confusion about the dog's size and behavior, as officers are warned about a potentially aggressive dog. The individual clarifies that the dog is a small pit bull puppy, but law enforcement is prepared for possible aggression based on their information. They plan to bring in a rook, possibly a tool or another officer, and ensure that everyone, including the dog, is handled safely during the operation. The conversation reveals a chaotic incident involving law enforcement and an individual. The person describes how they were sitting in a parking lot when an officer approached them aggressively, banging on their window despite the situation being calm. The person panicked, backed their car into the officer's vehicle, and fled, feeling threatened. They recount how the officer chased them, using excessive force that led them to fear for their safety, resulting in them drawing a gun and ultimately deciding to shoot. The narrative highlights the individual's perception of the officer's actions as excessively forceful and their reaction as one of fear and self-defense. How do you perceive the communication and coordination between the officers during the pursuit and subsequent events? Was there anything you think could have been improved?